Alright guys, what's up? This is Patrick here with Levi, who played what yesterday?
I played Beetrooper
Played Beetrooper.
in a box tournament.
Yeah.
And I only lost to Aaron last round, so I got second
Yep.
after Swiss, I think.
Yep. So, yeah, this deck's really cool. We had a profile recorded already, but then we went to a bigger tournament, and he still did well, so we're going to redo it, because this profile's got some expensive cards in it. So, we're going to go ahead and do this profile. So, yeah, let's get into it.
3 Scout Buggy.
Yep.
And 3 Scale Bomber.
Yep.
It's, Buggy specials another copy of itself from hand deck or graveyard.
Yep.
Scale Bomber is like Kagamusha Knight, specials itself on an insect summon.
It's Kagamusha plus Ogre?
Yeah, and then it also goes to the ground field.
Yep.
Really cool. And 2 Sting Lancer. Sting Lancer adds a Spell or Trap, Beetrooper card from deck to hand. And then also, it's kind of like DD Crow. It can put a monster in your graveyard and your opponent's graveyard back to the bottom of the deck to summon itself during the main phase, either player's main phase. I've seen some people play 3 and it clogged for me, and 1 is just not enough because it's a great card.
Yeah, you usually want to do it on your turn and your opponent's turn. So, like, you want to have it in hand and then special it on your turn to search your counter trap, because that's probably the best card in the deck.
And then for the Battle Wasp, which are honestly my favorite cards in the whole deck.
Oh yeah, they're
Battle
so cool.
Wasp are so they're really good. So this Sting is kind of like a Stratus that adds any other Battle Wasp from deck to hand. And then also it's an effect failure by attributing another insect monster in the field. So normally what you'll add is either Twin Bow or Pin. They're the extenders. So this one, if you control an insect, you special it, and then also it burns for 200. And then Twin Bow just specials itself for free, but it locks you into insects from the extra deck for the rest of the turn.
And then Pin also, not just 200, 200 for each copy of Pin.
Yeah, I have burned for 400 once. Big plays.
Big damage.
Some people are like playing 2/2 to like put in hand traps, so I just like 3/3 because it's a free extender. If you draw 2, you just normal the one and special the other one.
Yeah.
You don't really care.
And that'll start your combo off.
For the last Battle Wasp, we're playing the Arbalist. It's kind of like Wolfbark. It specials an insect from graveyard on level 3 or lower from grave. And then also it has a cool effect where if it's destroyed by your opponent's card effect or battle, it can special an insect from deck or graveyard.
Okay.
Or
So it's like
deck
a...
or hand, sorry.
Oh, okay. That's even better.
Yeah. And 3 Resonance, card busted.
Actually, I lied. Counter Trap isn't the best. This is the best card in the deck by like a country mile. Card's insane.
This can add Kaijus or the Sting Lancer or
Can add
Doom Dozer.
Yeah, it can add a hand trap. Can add Context C. Like, that card's crazy.
And then when it's banished, it sends either Sting for the graveyard for the Link 3, or you can send Goki Pull to add a level 4.
Yeah, that card's nice.
And we're playing Retaliating. Acts as a hand trap against Drytron and Prank Kid. And then on the field, it's a Macrocosmos.
Yeah, whenever it's summoned by its effect, it's a macro.
Yeah. And then when it's sent to the graveyard, it adds a 15 or lower Earth Insect from deck to hand. So you can add this or Goki Pull.
Or Context C. Because all the C's just adding each other. It's pretty nice.
Context. And for the 1-ups, I'm playing 1 Doom Dozer. Banishes 2 insects from grave to special summon itself, and then if it does battle damage, it can mill a card.
Quick question. The most important question. Is that an ulti first Doom Dozer, bro?
That is. I ordered this a very long time ago for really bad reasons, but it paid off.
We bought it for the field spell reasons.
So I actually don't use him that often because the Armor Horn banishes the Resonance, but there is one combo where you kind of need to, and as well as him having a 28 body and 26 blood,
and
can be pretty huge. And then I'm playing 1-on-1 Kaiju. I actually, looking back, I think I want to take out a couple cards and maybe add 1 or 2 more Kaijus. But this is for the statue, which actually came up yesterday, and then this comes up against like Gozen match, or just any kind of earth restrictions, and it's smaller. So. And then Goki Pull, and I'm playing Goki Boar.
1-1 ratio there.
Yeah. Some people are playing more of this, but if you're doing that, you kind of need to play like droplets or stuff to send it for free, kind of. You can definitely play more of this, but I like 1. It consistently gets it, so I don't want to clog myself with Goki Pulls.
Yeah.
And then if you don't know what it does, whenever it's sent to the graveyard, anyway, It adds a level 4 insect from deck to hand, and then if it's a normal monster, you special summon it, and then destroy a card on the field with a higher attack than it, or equal to it.
Yeah.
So you can add the Resonance Insect, Retaliating, the Arbalest is level 4, or the Gokibora. And it's pretty cool to like kaiju a monster, and then add the Gokibora special, and then pop the kaiju.
Yeah.
Which came up
That's pretty cool.
a couple times yesterday.
Yep.
And then I'm playing this one because McDonald's.
Yeah, most expensive normal bug.
And like we previewed, we got the fusion monster now, so playing the ready fusion for it.
Yep. That card is nice.
This deck kind of struggles against hand traps. It can be hit literally against any hand trap, so we max out on interactive cards.
Yeah.
So talent is just in case we get hit by one, call by it to stop it.
Yeah.
You kind of need to max out on these
Agreed.
because this deck has no inherent way of stopping like Ash, Imperm, Baylor, Nibiru.
Yeah. Like all the negates it can put up are on-board negates. So like in-hand stuff is kind of hard to stop.
And we're playing the formation. You can target a Beetrooper in graveyard, take its attack, and special summon it. And then if a insect is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special a token. Which is pretty cool. And then Flying Sting, it's a monster negate. And then if you control a monster with 3,000 or more attack during the end phase, you can reset it. So if you draw this, you can discard it, and then at the end of your turn, reset it, which is really cool. But these are the two that you add off the Sting Lancer. And then I threw in 3 Imperms. The deck is at 41, and I already had these in here. And I added this is the 41st card.
Yeah.
But I really like it.
Okay. All right, going on into the extra deck now.
Starting off, we have 2 Armored Horn. You can play 3, but I decided to take it out for another card, which I'll talk about in a second. While it's on the field, you're locked into insect monsters, and it can give you an extra normal summon. And you can banish 3 insects from graveyard to special summon itself back, which, as you'll see in the combos, is pretty important to it.
Yeah.
And 2, Felina. If you don't know what it does, it discards a card from your hand to equip a insect monster to another insect monster you control. And then it also has a Pegasus Emerald effect, so you can shuffle back 3 insects and draw a card.
Oh, and this just in. Italian Yu-Gi-Oh! Confirms cross-out designator is in the 10. So now Yu-Gi-Oh's doomed. It's an ultra rare too.
So now you know our time of recording.
Yeah, now you know time of recording. 4:25 September 12th.
So we're playing 2 Papillion. You can definitely play one, but the second one comes up pretty often for me. So on summon, it gives itself counters for the insects that you use to make it. And then it has another effect where it can special a level 4 or lower insect from graveyard. And it's you can only do 1 effect per turn, so it's a worse Selene.
Yep.
But it's still really good in the deck.
Yep.
And then 2 Invincible Atlas, or Dragoon Boy. Can't be targeted or destroyed while its attack is 3k. And then you can tribute a monster and special summon a Beetrooper from deck, or make itself gain 2k. So what I'll do sometimes, going like post turn 1, I'll actually tribute himself off the board to get a Scout Buggy. That way, and then link my Scout Buggies into a Piccafelina. That way I'm not locked into insects, so I can go into things like Appaloosa or Access Code Talker.
Just big boss monsters.
So I took this out, or I took the Armor Horn out for Appaloosa because I want to safely go for game. So I'll tribute the big guy off, and then get enough materials to make Appaloosa or Access Code to go for game.
Yeah.
And then playing generic Shinobi insects. Hakakurumi?
Haga Kuramino? Something like that?
Yeah.
I don't speak that language.
So it's a generic. It makes it by using 2 different monsters. So if you get like Nibiru.
Yeah, he's one of the ones where like I just actually want to show people. He's new out of Dawn.
Yeah.
You're good.
So it doesn't take insects to make. So you can use things like a Pankratops or a Nibiru or a Nibiru token to make him.
You just need an insect on board.
And then he has a cool effect, which you kind of have to keep in mind whenever you're giving kaijus out, is you always want to put it pointing to this arrow, because if a monster is destroyed in an arrow that it points to, you can special back a level 4 monster from graveyard. So like I said, with the Goki pole and the Goki board, I'll kaiju them, put it in his zone, and then get Goki board and pop it, and then special back another one sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
There's some nifty combos for it.
And Almirage, it's kind of here for the same reason that Tri-Brigade play it. It's if your hands are pretty bad, so you normal like Resonance or Goki pole or Retaliating, and then make this to add.
Yeah.
And I'm playing Cross Sheep, and we're playing him because of the Hercules.
Quaggar Hercules.
So I'll try to show a combo at the end of the video where you use the Cross Sheep, but usually he doesn't come up that often.
Yeah.
And for the 15th card, we play the Cicada King. So you summon him using 2 Scout Buggies or 2 level 3s, and on the field, if your opponent activates, or correction, if any monster activates its effect, you can detach one, target it, negate its effects, and then change its battle position. And then when its battle position is changed, you can special a insect, not level restricted, from the graveyard. So that's pretty cool. I wanted to mention that it doesn't mean your opponent's monster effects, because sometimes you can special like pin and then activate the effect to burn, and then switch it to its position, and then special another one from graveyard.
Yeah.
So it can come up. But I actually didn't make him yesterday at all, I don't think. Most people would scoop before I got to make him just because they knew it was coming.
Yeah, and he's, given that he's an on-field negate, he's just kind of not as good as the counter trap, where like the counter trap kind of does his job. So like when your option is tribute, summon, sting, search counter trap, or search buggy, make Cicada King, like I kind of think the Cicada or the Sting Lancer's better. No?
Yeah. So I would definitely make him like priority number 1 if he can negate Nibiru.
Oh yeah, if he can negate, in hand,
so
he's just on field. That's the problem. Just on field monster.
This is something I'll make like post turn 1 if I know I can't kill them, just to control the board.
Yeah.
But it's still good and still worth playing.
Yeah, definitely still worth playing. I'm not trying to downplay how good he is.
And going into the side deck, I really wasn't pleased with the side deck that much. It's kind of a skeleton just for the meta, but I didn't play any meta decks. I played 5 different decks yesterday.
Yeah.
So, and none of them was Drytron or Tri-Brigade, so my side deck felt kind of underwhelming. 3 Nibiru, 4 just combo decks, and 3 Droll. I sided this in against the Ad Ignister guy and drew it, and he passed very quickly. But it's there for Drytron, obviously.
Yeah.
And I'm playing 2 Contact C. So this is good against Print Kids and Tri-Brigade.
Yeah.
But not really good against anything else particularly.
Do not summon it versus Drytron. They will make a level 6 with Beatrice.
They can make Beatrice with it,
Yeah.
so don't do that.
Do not give it to Drytron. It's not
And that's
worth putting
why
it.
I decided to take it out of the main deck, because unless you're playing against Print Kids or Tri-Brigade, it's horrible.
Yeah. Honest, I kind of agree, yeah.
I would rather add the Sting Lancer instead of this in the combo.
Yeah.
So, but still sided it. I'll probably side out take out one of the side deck and just keep the one. Like I said, it was underwhelming. I didn't side it at all.
And it's searchable, so you don't really need to like clog up on it.
Yeah.
Like, you can search it on your turn 1.
And then for the backer removal cards, and this is also good against Tri-Brigade, Pink Drops, 3 Cosmos.
Yep.
You can play Twin if you're playing 3 Goki Pull, but it's not really worth discarding an insect. You kind of need them. So I just opted to play Cosmic.
Yep.
And Pink Drops is really good, just staple side deck card.
Yeah, it's just a good one-off.
And then I'm playing 2 Anti-Spell and Inferior Order for going first side. This deck doesn't play a whole lot of...
That card's going to be banned next month, so ban that card.
Yeah, not included. You don't really use spells that often. The only time it can conflict is if you summon Sting Lancer the second time to add the field spell. Like you can conflict with it. But like for the most part, you're using your Ready Fusion and your Triple Tactics on your first turn, and then these won't affect you past that.
Yeah.
So it's just worth playing them.
Yeah. Same thing with IO.
Yeah.
but that card needs to be banned, so we don't discuss that.
Yeah.
Dude, if you did it, I would I would understand. Alright guys, that was it for the deck profile. We're going to go ahead and get into some combos in just a second. Thanks for watching.
Bees nuts.
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and get into some test hands now.
Would you like to cut?
Yeah. We can't be faking, you know? Ugh. Complicated cuts for no reason. Gang.
Spin, Goki board, retaliating, so we drew kind of an unideal card, so it's a good example for a little bit of a realistic hand. So actually what we're going to do is we're going to normal summon the retaliating suit. So the reason we're going to do this is because if this leaves the field, you can add an Earth Insect with 1500 or less attack. And then on summon, we're going to trigger the scale and special itself. And we're going to link those off for armor horn and trigger the retaliating suit.
Go ahead and search an Earth Insect, as you said.
And we're actually going to search Goki Pool. This is one of the weird hands where we can add Goki Pool because of retaliating. So from here, we're going to use armor horn as effect to extra normal summon the Goki board. And then we're going to use Pen's effect to special itself, and then burn our opponent, obviously.
200, smiley face.
And link these off for the Pika Felino. And we're going to use Pika Felino's effect to discard the Goki pool to equip the Resonance Insect. And here we can actually trigger the Goki pool to add a level 4. Which it doesn't really matter. Normally we would add the Goki board special, but since we can't, we'll just add the retaliating for a hand trap.
Yeah. Macrocosmo if your opponent special summons using a spell. Pretty good card.
And it is kind of important to note that you do not want to use Pika Felina's effect if you have 3 monsters in graveyard, but you can if there's 4 or more, because you need 3 in graveyard this.
Yeah, to special himself
So
back.
we're going to go ahead and send back I'm going to send back these 3, and I'm going to leave the Scale Bomber just in case we draw the field spell. We can special it back with this. And also we're going to leave the Goki Pool in graveyard because we could special it off of the Link 3.
Off of Seraphim Papillon, I think? Yeah. Something like that. Gives you another interaction with your opponent, because you can summon Boar after that. Good defense for the next turn.
There's 3 off, or the big man himself. And we're going to trigger the Resonance Effect. So most people would think to add this because it's going to trigger the Resonance, but actually since we already have the Armor Horn engraved, we don't need to add Doom Desert. We can either add Contact Seed if you have it in the side deck, or what I like to do is add Sting Lancer because it's another interaction.
Yeah. Because with drawing one card that was kind of dead, you want to have as many interactions for your opponent as possible.
Yeah. And then we're going to banish for his effect, Pico, and we can keep the Goki Pool in the graveyard for extra interaction. So we're going to banish these 3, and then special him from graveyard, and then use his effect, tribute this, and it's going to get banished. Or Sting Lancer, and use its effect.
Go ahead and grab a Beetrooper spell trap.
Counter trap. So our opponent knows that we have 3 interactions for them on their turn. A monster negate, kind of a DD Crow card. And if they are playing Prank Kids or Drytrons or Crying.
Yeah, or honestly Dragon Link too.
Yeah.
Retaliating Sea just hits certain decks hard as hell.
Yeah. And as well with the towers.
Yeah.
And then for follow-ups we got these. And then also for follow-up, if we're able to bring Goki Pool back, which we should be able to on our next turn by normal summoning retaliating, if that happens. And we can bring Goki Pool back and then get Arbalest, and then use him to get another monster.
Yeah.
So as for the simple test hand number 1.
Yep.
Test hand number 2.
That's a good card. That's a good card. All right.
And ready fusion. So I think this hand is the same exact as the last hand. It's going to end on the Atlas with an interaction hand. But actually, there is one additional thing we can do. Since we didn't draw the Goki board, I can end on Seraphim too. So we'll go ahead and show you how to do that.
Gotcha.
So we can special this for free. We're locked into insects, boohoo.
Yep.
And we can just normal summon another one. Like in my deck profile, I said if you draw 2 of them, you can normal one, special the other.
Yep.
It goes with either one of them.
Yep.
That's fine.
2 of any Battle Wasp is at least the start of your combo.
And then we don't have to use the extra normal, and I'm not actually going to at this point because I'm not going to get any benefit from extra normaling this. I can just special it. And because I'm not going to use it, whenever I bring it back, I can use it to extra normal to get another monster. So I'm going to special this and activate Ready Fusion to get the
$1 billion
big
boy.
man himself. And then we're going to make the Piccolino.
Yeah.
And then we actually aren't losing anything by discarding this because at the end of my turn, I can reset it.
Yeah,
if I
because
control Atlas.
Yeah, because Atlas will
So
be there.
I'm not actually losing anything by discarding it. And Piccolino's effect, circle back 3, which will leave us with 1 insect in graveyard.
That's a pretty good draw right there. Going to Atlas.
And Retaliator, or Resonance.
Yeah.
And we can activate the Armor Horde to banish the 3 remaining in graveyard, summon itself.
Yep.
And then Resonance is going to trigger. I'm going to dump the Goki Pole this time around.
Because now Goki Pole can activate his effect.
And since we have the normal monster in grave or in hand, we can either we can actually special this, or there's another thing we can do. So we can add and special this if they have a monster. But since we didn't use Armor Horn's first effect, we can actually also grab Herbalist as well. So we can add him and then use his effect for an additional normal summon. So it can work either way.
Yeah.
So in this case, we're actually going to do that. We're going to summon him, activate to special this, and then we're going to use Atlas effect to tribute him. Oops. Get the Sting Lancer.
They were probably going to drop behind you.
And grab the formation since we already have the trap in graveyard.
Yeah.
And then another thing, we can get the buggy and make the rank 3 also. So I'll go back to this step right here as soon as we finish the next couple steps.
Yeah.
Link these 2 off for the Seraphim. And it gains its counters.
Yeah, we're getting 2 counters for each insect used to summon it.
And then there's not much more we can do past this point. So we can pass, and then
And phase
we
the
have-
spell trap,
yeah,
or the counter trap.
trap with the in phase. So we have these 2. And then
So-
if they decide to get rid of the Goki Pole on my field, I can add and special this on their turn and pop a monster.
Yeah. That's not half bad. You want to go back to the other step real quick?
Oh yeah.
It was here and then. Yeah.
Alright, so going back to this step, so we can also, instead of summoning this, we can summon the Buggy and use Buggy's effect, special another copy of itself. And then we can make the rank 3 Cicada King.
Society.
And then take these and go into the rank 3.
Yeah, it still gets 2 counters.
Yep. And then on their turn, we can bring back your good people.
Yep.
So ideally, this would have more interactions.
Yeah. But you still have 2 hand traps, a monster negate, and then like a bring back.
As well as a recovery.
Yeah,
play from
and a
each
recovery play and a field spell.
And
So it's
then
not bad.
even if this is sent to grave, we can add a resonance insect.
Yeah.
Or if we can't do the Goki board play.
Yeah. Instead of, if we can't pop with the Goki board. All right, on to one more another hand test.
So we're gonna normal summon Sting, chain link 1, 2, or Sting, chain link 2, scale.
Yep.
We're gonna add the pin since we already have the twin bow. And be vice versa if we had pin in hand.
You're good. Yeah, just like in between the hands.
Link these off for armor home.
That boy.
We're gonna special these two. Mark for 200. Big factor.
Yeah, I mean, time matters.
So at this point in time, it's come up a lot where I have two pretty good cards in hand, and I don't know what to discard off of this. But if they have a hand trap, they probably could have already done it.
Yeah.
But since we chain block that, I'm gonna actually keep the tactics, just in case I get Nibiru or anything like that. Like, even though this is good interaction for their turn, this we can +2.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
discard that for resonance. Goes to resonance effect.
And resonance is a good card, isn't it?
Add the sting. And then if you notice, I did not activate Pikapolina effect because I wanted to have all the ones in graveyard. I can banish these three because I want to keep the this is my graveyard currently, so I want to keep the sting, the poison in the graveyard because of the link 3, and if I did her effect, then I would be banishing all of my cards.
Yeah, you wouldn't have anything else in there.
So
The
I wanna-
Sting, for those that don't know, can be brought back. Like, both of these cards can be brought back by Seraphim, and they're a Ghost Ogre and an Effect Veiler, basically, for on-field cards. So it's they just have really good value if you leave them in grave. Like, the draw one could be good, but at the same time, you have guaranteed effects in graveyard that you can use on your opponent's turn.
So we're going to trigger the resonance insect since it's banished, dump the Goki pool, and add the Goki board and special summon it.
Yep.
And we're going to use Atlas effect tribute to special the Sting Lancer, and then add the counter trap.
Yep.
And then we're going to link these two off into Papillion. And then it's going to gain its counters. And then for your opponent's turn, this is actually the typical board that I end on. I'll end them with the counter trap and the sting in hand. And what you can do is, if they're a grave deck and you want to use Sting Lancer first, you can put the Goki board back, and then special this and get the pop for that. Or what I usually will do is bring back this Sting the Poison, and then it acts as an effect veiler, so another interruption.
Yeah.
As well as it on summon, it'll add the Arbalest, so you have a follow-up play.
Yeah. So you're going into your next turn, your hand is at least this. If you've already used your Sting, you have Arbalest Triple Tactics, which is not bad. Yeah. Starting off the turn, plus your random draw. Your turn.
Alright, so this combo we just kind of laid out because it's kind of hard to draw. You have to draw the Ready Fusion, the Resonance, and an Extender, as well as a discard for Pikapolina.
Gotcha.
And it utilizes the cross sheet. So if you were wondering why it's there, I'm going to go ahead and show you that. Cool. So normal summon resonance, special this. I'm going to actually make the cross sheet. And then we're going to add the Doom Dozer for the resonance insect.
Yeah.
And then we're going to ready fusion, special Corgi. And we're going to trigger the cross sheet to special resonance.
Okay. Oh, so this one gets you 2 searches on
Yeah,
resonance.
so we're going to search twice off the resonance because it's not once per turn.
Yeah, good card.
So we're going to search the Sting. And then we're going to summon the Doom Dozer by banishing this Doom. And we're going to trigger the resonance.
Yeah, we're going to banish the resonance for Doom Dozer.
And we're going to add Arbalest off Goki Pool. And we're going to use the extra normal summon. Normal summon the Arbalest. And it's going to special the Goki Pool. And we're going to link these two for the Pikapolina. use its effect, discard whatever card to equip yet another Resonance Insect.
3 times.
And here, we only have 3 engraved, but we can go ahead and use its effect to shuffle back
Yep.
and draw any card.
We'll make this one be real and be a real draw.
So draw doesn't matter, but
Yeah. That's a pretty good draw though.
yeah, it's actually a really good
Pretty good draw.
card for follow-up.
Yep.
Alright, so I link these two up. Or the Atlas.
Yeah, we'll move it over a little bit.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
We're gonna trigger the Resonance yet again.
Again?
We can add either another Sting, which it doesn't matter, or we can just add a Kaiju.
Yeah,
And
Kaiju.
if you're playing Contact C post side, or if you're main decking it, you can add Contact C here. And we're going to use the Atlas effect, tribute the Doom Desert to special summon Sting Monster, add the counter trap.
Yep.
And then we can link these two for Papillion.
She'll only get 1 counter this time, sadly, because it was only used with 1 insect monster, but at the same time.
It still gets 2 counters, I think.
No, it gets it 1 for each counter. Yeah, for each insect that's used to make it. Yeah.
My mistake.
Yeah, you're good.
So yeah, it only has 1 counter.
Which
but-
you need it once, honestly.
Yeah. And then, so it seems kind of weird here, because you can either leave this for follow-up, or what you can do is you can special the Armor Horn, even though it's going to get banished and it's sitting there for nothing.
Yeah.
We can go ahead and banish the Resonance, the Pico, and the Doom Desert, I guess.
Yeah.
And then we're going to
Trigger
trigger the
Resonance
Resonance again, and we're actually going to send we can send Goki Pole, or we can send the Sting. That way we can special something back with the Papillion.
Yeah, have a guaranteed effect veiler right here, plus the normal summon on your turn.
Yeah, so this
yeah.
is a random draw, and then
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have an additional card from hand, you have the counter trap,
And
you have
then-
the Sting, and a Kaiju / Contact Seed,
Yeah.
and the Sting Lancer. All from a 3-card and a half combo.
So yeah, that's it for the combo videos and the resonance or the Ready Fusion combo. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed the profile. Join the Discord, follow the Twitter. Thank you, Levi, for featuring your profile on the channel. Have a good day. Bye.